And welcome back to another tutorial, step-by-step tutorial on drawing on your phone using the Paintology drawing app that you can get from the Google Play Store. And they're all free, so it's a great way for you to learn drawing on your mobile phone. And I typically draw the phone using, this is my phone, and using my finger. So you can do this pretty much the same. At the moment I'm just using a stylus, cheap stylus that you can buy from eBay or Amazon. And so if you're going to make a lot of drawings, probably worth getting a stylus, but you can use your fingers, and I made a lot of recent drawings are with my fingers. And so I'm going to show you a few resources that you can turn to, and you can follow along to this tutorial. So first of all, I'm going to show you this Quora resource, paintology.quora.com. You can find daily updates of the drawings that I do and a quick note on how I do it and how you can go ahead and do it. So just keep in mind that this is a drawing that I did, but it's not refreshed, so I'm going to refresh that. And we have, it hasn't quite refreshed yet, but anyway, yeah, it's not refreshing. I think it's wanting me to open an app. And what are the resources? Well, first of all, in order for you to paint along with me, you need to have that reference image. And to do that, go to paintology.com and go down, and you'll see a link, live stream Google Classroom. Click on that, and you'll be able to go to a page where you can see the images. So right now I'm on the Paintology channel, and I am going to do this drawing. So I'm going to show you how to do drawings differently to what most other drawing apps try and attempt to do, which is basically they inundate you with lots of tools. You have to keep accessing the tools, and there is no really any teaching of art techniques like blending, blurring, because there's always tools for that. And that's actually made the digital drawing a little bit departed from traditional. Most traditional artists think it's a kind of a gimmick, but in reality it is a true form of art. And it doesn't matter if you use a lot of tools, you're still creating art. And the fact that I don't use a lot of tools just means that I borrow a lot of techniques from my traditional drawing days to the digital, and therefore I keep my tools simple. I just simply use one brush, and I can make fine art drawings on the phone, and which most digital artists cannot do because they're too dependent on the tools they're using, and I don't. I use it from the scratch. So this is the kind of drawing. I'll show you a few drawings that I have done. Let's go back home. So this is the home page, and you'll see here your tutorials where you can have access to over 600 tutorials, all to work at your pace. And most importantly, I want to mention something which I have forgot to tell you. It's on this. Wait, we get there eventually. Yeah, so let's go back here, and then it's this Google Classroom. You'll find a link in the description, and trust me, this is going to rapidly, it's like a fully fledged classroom, all free, and you will be able to be drawing in no time. Join this class and then instead of using the app and then using your own judgment, which is not the best qualification for you to get rapidly up to speed, That's hence the reason for doing this classroom, to guide you and begin practicing and rapidly. Day 1, day 2, I think there are 5 daily sessions, day 8, day 9. So you can obviously spread it out, but they're all structured with okay. So I actually am doing weird things with it because I'm the administrator for that. So that's the classroom, and I encourage you to join it. You'll find the link in the description. So let's get back to our drawing. So draw and then pick the trace image, and here it is. That's the drawing we're going to do. So first thing first, so what do we do? Well, if you're new to Paintology, you will know that this trace bar is the all-powerful way of this trace bar is actually what rapidly increases your drawing skills, and it's a tool designed to rapidly increase your skills. I'm not going to go into the philosophy of using tracing, which some of you like to debate whether it's questionable, and oh, come on, for heaven's sakes, when you're practicing, trace is the ideal method of practicing, so I won't go into it any further. Those who mention it, it shows a bit of ignorance, quite a bit of ignorance. It's like the same way I'm going to tell you. It's like them. Let's say they're the trainers of a 100 meters sprinter, and they're going to tell you, do not do anything else except sprint 1,000 times a day, doing the same thing again and again and again until you get better. That's really what they're trying to tell you, right? Because they don't know anything else. They don't know any better. They haven't practiced, they haven't learned, and they haven't evolved into a good artist. So they're going to do that. All great artists of our past, those are the names that you remember: Cézanne, Mozart, Cézanne, Monet, Van Gogh, and Picasso. All of them used essential tools. Anything. You've probably heard of the camera obscura. This is the where they project an image onto a canvas so they can replicate the outline and colors. That was a, a well-known tool used by artists. Anyway, less of that, and let's get back to this. So the first thing is, let's pick a color picker. So if you're at the top half, right? Oh, by the way, that with this rapid skill development, I'm able to make photorealistic drawings on my phone, and I can tell you I haven't found anyone who can make photorealistic drawings in 1-2 hours on the phone, freehand as well. For those naysayers of, saying this is a tool you should not use. So this is actually what took me to photorealism drawing, and you can check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. You don't have to take my word for it. So we're going to first pick that this top half is the actual image. This bottom half is your drawing. So what do I mean by your drawing? Well, I'm going to stick to the line brush. Seem to like the line brush. And then I'm going to pick a color right here. There. Can you see? That color is your drawing. Now, and then let's pick this color here, or let's pick a gray color here, right? Can you see that gray color? That is your drawing, and this is the image of the reference image. And let's say we're just at the top half, and we use the color picker. So look, we're getting a black, and then let's pick another color. Look, we got a gray. So basically what that's saying is, let's pick this color here. We're picking the color of the reference image, which is the cat. Now, if we go below, anywhere below in our half, and we use the color picker, look, let's pick the black. And then look here. Let's pick the white here, you can see. Let's pick the white. Why? Because that's white, isn't it? And then if you're anywhere here below this halfway mark, pick one. And again, it's white, obviously, because you haven't got anything. Now, if we go here, what does it pick? Gray. Yeah, because you picked the gray of your own canvas. So anything in your bottom half is your canvas, and that is the reference image. That's all you need to know, okay? And that's the power, that simplicity is what leads us to make rapid improvement in a fundamental principle of art called tones. You've probably heard about it. Teachers go on about it, okay? So let's go back to draw. Right, so how are we going to go about this drawing? So again, as I was saying, I needed to elaborate what I was saying earlier about how this paintology is different. Well, first of all, take a look at some of these drawings and tell me you would be hard pushed to see if they were done digitally or not. This one, what do you think? Digitally on this phone? Probably not. You'd probably think it was a mixture of colors or maybe paints, inks, whatever, right? You would not be able to tell. And then again, let me show you another one. Okay, let's pick another one. This is using the method I'm going to be showing you. This one, drawing on this phone as well, right? How do you think of that? Combination of block coloring and also using my eye to get the right colors and using the brush side, keeping to one line, one brush line, no blending, no nothing. Right? Again, you'll be hard pushed to say this was digital. That's why people, when they come to see my art, they cannot fathom. They just look at it from the point of view of painting or drawing, and they can't understand that it's digital or not. So this is techniques. This is the reason I can do it like this. Techniques. I'm not using tools. If I use tools, you will know that looks digitally created, animated. And that's what happens with most digital artists when they become heavily reliant on tools. I don't. I start doing this manually and I continue to finish it manually. This was done in the tutorial. You can check it out in the live tutorial. And if I sat without talking, I would have finished in an hour. That's all, 1 hour to finish this on this phone. So it develops very important skills that I'm going to show you and techniques. It's again, I'm going to reiterate the analogy that I keep telling everyone. You don't judge a carpenter based on the tools. You judge a carpenter based on his workmanship. It's the same with artists. And the fact that there's so much emphasis by beginners on digital tools goes to show how little they understand. And also because they haven't been presented with this concept of drawing, which is techniques. And these techniques are essentially the fundamental core techniques taught in the traditional level in academia and all kinds of subjects. It just so happens that I have matured it with the Paintology drawing app. So let's go back and pick our drawing again. Sorry for elaborating, but it is necessary for you to understand that. Don't skip on what I'm saying because you might be missing a few points, and don't rush when it comes to painting or drawing. Take your time, think, and then you'll do a much better job. Okay, now that, we understand how the colors work and how we're going to pick the colors, we're going to be doing this exercise again and again. Will not only encourage you to make good drawings, like it encourages me to just carry on because I produced lovely images and I surprise myself with different techniques, but it also enhances your drawing skills. You're not going to be a 100-meter runner if you don't practice and if you don't try and become in every form and shape to be a runner, isn't it? Psychologically, stamina, fitness, you name it, in every form. So that's what you're trying to do. This is what Paintology does, develops those innate skills that are not so obvious. Everyone, but to someone who's a newbie, they just jump to tools, isn't it? And it's very easy to jump to tools because they don't know any better. So these are for techniques that if you're really serious about learning art techniques and can apply to not just digital medium but to all other mediums, you will find that this is an excellent way. So let's get a background color first. So I picked the black, okay? And now if you look, then I'm going to click the back button and this top bar has become, and then I'm going to pick this, that's top bar has gone black. I'm going to pick this and then it's saying, do you want to select this background color, canvas color? Okay, so we need to set this before we do the actual drawing, okay? So this is our canvas color now, okay? Now we've got it in halfway. I always try and keep it at that point. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do an outline of this cat. So let's go ahead. And now remember, this is way too big, isn't it? So we're going to reduce that. Okay, so let's go there. That's probably right. And then I'm going to bring it down because I don't like it too like harsh. I want it like just 70% and then reduce that. Reduce the brush size a tiny bit, tad more. Okay, so now what we have here is what we're going to do is we're going to first, so to encourage you to keep going in a drawing process. So that's the problem. A lot of beginners, they don't understand the drawing process. They don't know what it entails, what it means. They see far too many good artists go from zero to a magical piece of art and they think they have no idea of how the process of drawing is. They try it, they raise their arms up in the air and they can't get what the artist is achieving and they give up. Very simple. You think the artist took him one day to get to where he is? You're quite mistaken. Okay, let's go. So we're going to keep to this color, right? And I'm going to show you the outline of that. That's all I want you to do, is go with the same color. And then, in fact, I'm going to just take it. You have the option of going to grayscale, and that's what we'll do. So easier for me to show you. So let's have a look. Can you see? Can you see that? That's the white, okay? So, okay, I'm going to get that color. It's really white. So I'm gonna just follow these strokes, right? Don't worry about anything else. Use this line brush, 8%, and just follow the white. White, okay? Just go quickly. This is really fun way for you to appreciate tones and then use the color picker if you need to, but I'm not. I'm just going to keep it at that and then just so you don't have to. This is easy. Just go where the white tones you see, these light tones. That's all I'm asking you to do. Go here. All these little white tones. Just dab, dab, dab. All right. dab, 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 okay. That, okay. And then there, just follow the lines of the fur, why not? Okay. So this would be like, I'm going to do it in stages, and I don't have a clear idea what I'm going to do, because I'm also developing these techniques for you, so you can understand that drawing is all about techniques, not about the use of tools. People make the mistake that the tools are going to be making you in digital art. This is, what brush are you using? Why don't you have layers? Why don't you have this? When you start talking like that, you know you become reliant on what do you call it? The tools. You now become dependent on the tools. Let's have a look what we have. See, we could make out the shape of that cat, right? Okay, so I'm sort of reluctant. I sort of accidentally go to the accidentally hit the color picker because I'm so used to block coloring. Okay, now I got that. Now I'm going to do something else. Now we're going to do color block coloring. This you could say was an outline, okay? So this is an outline, and you can make out that this is a cat. There's no question about it that is a cat. Now what we're going to do is a method called block coloring. And to do that, again, I need to access the colors of the reference image. So I've just put it midway. So how do I do that? Very, very easy. Again, keep your brush. I don't want to complicate things. And then go pick the color picker here, and then pick a color. You can see how the grayscale has moved, right? From all the way to there to there. So now with that color, we're going to just do this. Fill that. And then again, let's do the same thing here. Pick the color and then just fill these areas in there. Okay? Don't worry how it will come up as. You're just picking the colors in that region. Okay, see with these methods I could also, because the whole idea of Paintology is for you to use the app, but more importantly, use it so you can learn and improve your art techniques, right? So I'm going very quickly. You may not see me, but I'm picking colors and then just simply going with the same brush, okay? Right, and then whenever I feel there's a tonal value change, I pick a different color. Right, I can't obviously do that because there's so many tiny variations of tones going on, right? But obviously I can't attend to every tone. Each image will have thousands of tones, but art is all about tones. Creating, replicating those tones. Any artist will tell you that tones play a fundamental role in art. The oil painter mixes the colors to achieve the tones. The pencil artist, he applies the right dark and black to get the shades and even the pressure. Okay, so I'm just picking the colors. See that? Just picking the colors. This is a lot different to what I've done. If you've noticed, I've done other. You'll see I've done some other cat drawings, I adopt a different method. Here I'm just showing you a technique, and we continue to develop this technique, and what will it do is eventually you'll get something that looks close to realism, right? Because you're following your aim is to get the ideal tones for this cat, right? And then once you get the ideal tone, and look at these drawing strokes that I'm doing. They're not that difficult, are they? They're not that difficult to see how I'm doing it. Just simply applying these different tones. And so we haven't covered this bottom area, so let's do that. There's the same tones, right? And then there's these darker tones, right there. That. Keep the brush this size. You can increase it even more if you're uncomfortable with it, but this should be fine. Let's leave this here. The color. So we're just finding out these tones, that's all. Okay, look at that, the black there, and then there's some light tones here. Then did we cover everything? I think we have. Okay, so let's look what we have now. Look, such an improvement, isn't it? This is the second step of the drawing, and that was done with, how quickly did we do that? I'm not expecting you to work at my speed naturally, but I just want to show you techniques. Have I adopted any tools, blending or anything like that? Created a circular shape for the eyes? No, because that's not going to develop your drawing strokes. And if you want to draw like this, natural way of drawing, you need to really follow these techniques. So we got what it looks like the direction of the furs, right? And what do we do now? Well, if you use your intuition, you will now know that I'm going to reduce that to 4%, right, the brush size. And what happens with this reduced brush size? And then continue the block coloring that way. What happens? Yep, it will give you more details because you have a smaller brush. You know, when you had the bigger brush, it was blocky, and you can see the furs are no way that thick. You know, this is impossible, but if you look at this actual fur here, yeah, I'm going to show you with a darker color if I can. Look at that brush size, right? But in reality, this size of that fur is even smaller than this, 1.7, and I'm going really low. Look, it's about that size. And I'm not going to be sitting here all day showing you, but you can do that. I'll show you what I mean. Is you can go color picker and then just keep building up this, right? Just following it. In fact, I did that with, there you can see, that's how you'd create the strokes, right? But we haven't got time for that. So I'm going to show you how you get realism. How does one achieve realism? This will give you a great idea. So let's start from its ears, yeah. We'll start from one of its ears and see if we can. Now take a good look at that and make sure you know what this looks like now. And the next step is with the smaller brush. So we're gonna go here because we want to see more of that. The colors that those. Notice these colors the darker colors I'm picking out. And then let's see if we've got that. So what I need to do is I'm going to take that to maybe 90%. Just for argument's sake, just, follow this. I don't know why, but it's telling me that I should pick this 90% to show you this. So here you can see if I'm going here, actually the best way to do that is switch between this drawing and then that, and then the drawing of the cat. So here I pick the color picker. Now I'm gonna just simply do that. Okay, pick the color picker, just simply do that. Okay, then in fact we can, sorry about this, but this is also practice for me. I'm gonna take that, reduce it a little bit so I can show you. I've taken it down to 2%. So always taking it down to 2%, okay? So you've got this in recorded, so you can always come back to it and follow it. You don't have to follow it now. So okay, and that's what I'm doing. Here I'm seeing this light area here. So that's all I'm doing. I'm now actually focusing on the tonal variations. Look here, the white, right? Just adding those whites. And here, can you see I'm adding those whites there, right? Don't think what's going to end up like that. Look, there, that's it. Can you see it? There. Can you see that lovely white here? So pick the color white. There. Okay. And then we go here. You can see there's a bit of white there. So add a little bit of white. So this is really a tonal, exercise in tonal. Then the black. Remember, you may be enamored by this cat and you want to draw this cat, but if you think, oh, I'm just going to produce a cat, and you've got it fixated in your mind that this cat's got to turn out the way I want it, and if you don't focus on techniques, because I don't have any personal, don't have any like a personal feelings regarding this subject I'm drawing until I'm finished. Because you're trying to imagine, oh, I've got this image of a cat in my mind. If I can't do that, then I'm not a good artist. If I can't do it in one sitting, I can't be a good artist, can I? Just like all those other, which is, I mean, a terrible judgment to make about yourself, isn't it? So notice what I'm doing, picking up the colors, just adding more tones to it. That's all I'm doing. That's that dark tone, right? So we get that dark tone, right? Okay, and then we've got our lovely dark tones here. Right there. Alright, and then around there we have this dark, this tone here. So I'm going to take in the fur down. So let's look what our left ear looks like. Look at the right ear now compared to the left ear. So much improvement, isn't it? It could be improved further, but that's what a smaller brush does. So what we'll do is we'll continue with the right, same thing, right? Just switch back and forth. And then just pick the color tones and just go for it, okay? Wherever you see these color tones, I can see a dark tone there, and then I'm just going to flush it out, okay? and then I can see white tones there. Sorry, white tones then just create that effect. Okay, then I can see color tones here. Right, so, all right, and then I can see color tones there. Then I can see color tones here. Okay, and then any color tones that you see, you just keep adding tones. Don't worry about doing it perfectly. Just adding tones, giving the illusion for the eye to work on. It's like the ears, but it's not doing an anatomical look at the eye, is it? I mean, the ears. Right there. Okay, we've got these light tones that are coming up here. So we're going to do that. Then we got this lovely white tone here, showing here. Okay. Then we got these grey tones here. Then we're just going to do that. Okay. And then we're going to do this eye with the smaller, and you will see how a little bit of shape makes all the difference to the whole thing. Couldn't take that. Do you see how I produce that? Then put some shape behind that. Just adding this different tone, and then I'm going to show you to compare this eye with the eye that I did. Okay. Okay, then you got that lovely black. Right. That lovely black. And notice I take advantage while I'm on the reference image. And I've got that lovely white that goes. Right. Look at that white. It seems to go like that. And then we have this tones here, just a bit lighter tones. And let's see what we have here. Wow, look at the big difference on the left eye. Left eye to the right eye, isn't it? Huge difference. So now we can do the right eye, keep working our way down, and then get to another step in the drawing process where we feel that we're improving. This is part of the drawing process. With drawing process is the journey that an artist takes from zero to all the way to a work of art, and you become flabbergasted that they can do that, but they don't explain the process, and I am breaking it down as a drawing process. Okay, so now we do the same thing here. So again, going here, look at that beautiful black. So let me just give the shape so I know roughly where the shape is, right, relative to my drawing. Okay, there. So we got that. And then, of course, you can come here halfway. Okay. Right there. This is all helping you. So you can just mix it up, and if you want to see the actual image while you draw, this is you can do that. Previously, I was showing you the both images differently. You know, one is my drawing and the other is red. But this is another way technique that you can also use. There. And then we can see which one works, and then we can decide to use one or the other, right? Right? Because I'm picking these images very locally. Right there. Okay. Let's see what we look like there. Yes, much better, isn't it? And then it's a bit different to that, isn't it? The left eye. So that's because we used a different technique, isn't it? So let's use, we used a different technique. No, we haven't just used a different technique. We've actually left out some features, so I wouldn't say we used a different technique. Oops. I forgot that I need to be picking this color. Right. Okay. So let's see. Better, isn't it? So that's the right eye. And now what do we do? You can see that there are obviously improvements that needs to be made with this part, the right side of the cat's eye. So we're going to continue to use 2% just over, and then just work your way down. Look, this is the same color. So we're just gonna, we've already got it, right? So we're just gonna just add that. And then we've got this brownish color, and we're gonna take that, right? And then we got this lovely black color, right? And then we're gonna dark color here. And we're gonna create that fur here, okay? Now notice that this comes out here a little bit, and then we got to get this sort of little bit of white, not quite white, and then it seems to run across here. Then we have this sort of a little bit of a brown here. Okay, and we're just adding these details, nothing more, right? Alternating between, just making it similar to what was we did at the top, the eyes and everything. Nothing different. Okay. Okay, so got that. Yeah. Just adding these. Then just that. Okay. So we can see what it looks like, right? Right. Let's see. Look at that. Big improvement, isn't it? Look at the right side of this cat to the left side, okay? Now we go here. Notice I haven't gone for any brush. I've kept to the same brush, kept to the same line. Can you imagine if you were taught how to do a cat digitally, what you'd be constantly accessing tool after tool after tool. This is the natural way of drawing. I mean, I'm not criticizing, but I'm saying if you really want to draw and you want to enjoy the aspect of drawing. You know, this is, to me, seems so much better to me. Right, we do the same thing very quickly. Right, looks darker color, and we're gonna get that out. And then I got this dark. Gonna get that out. Then I got this dark color here. Right, then got this brown, dark brown color here. And then I got this. Right, just take that down, diffuse that area, and then here, got that here, because it's not quite like choppy like that, is it? Alright, and then here, then we're going to work on this area here. So remember, this is like techniques that I've just adopted for showing you this. It's not something I've been doing because I've got enough experience to continue to develop my techniques, and this is what I'm bringing to you. Come on. Right there. Right there. There you are. Then this color here. There you are. Then what have we got here? See? This sort of allows you to right there. Just not like it's very, very misty, isn't it? This is the harsh areas here. Right here, where the bristles are, right? Right there. This is where the bristles. Look at that, the bristles, right? Let's try and grab that, okay? And then you got this color, sort of halfway. Got this color, okay? Then we could use, and then we have this lovely sort of the nose and the sprouts, right? And we know this, right? That's what it is. And then go here and we take it back a seat. Then I can bring this here like this, top of the nose, and then bring that color. So now we're focusing on the shape. We know what a cat shape should be, and that's what we're trying to capture here. Paying more close attention. Let's see what we have here. You see how it's come to all this way. It looks like a tash, doesn't it? Looks like he's grown a manly tash. But we can improve on that. It's not a lost cause. And then here. And here. Right there. Here. Right there. And here. Right, so we don't want this to be like this is sort of diffuse the back, right? So I don't want that to show. So what have we got here? Yeah, we're doing well here. So we got this. We've come all the way from a very blockiness, and now you can see that we achieved this much on the drawing. We can say, well, I'm not. You can look at it and say, where can it be improved? I can see right away on here and then here, right? I can see improvements, and then here, improvements. And then of course I'm going to improve that later on. And so I can see improvement, and this is where techniques come in. And as you look closer and closer, you can even point out here and then here, right? So let's improve this area, top part of the area here. And let's say we probably didn't go over. Have you noticed the brush size is bigger? So we haven't really covered that area. So that's what we're going to do. Is since we've got this brush, we're going to just carry on improving that area. Actually doesn't go all the way up here, so I'm going to take that retreat right there. Just showing this, and then here, right, and then another here. Okay, notice how it changes. Then a little bit of that dark, not very dark, but here, and then it's quite darker here, isn't it? These. So if you're not getting that tone, just there, see? Just get that tone here. If you're not getting the tone, then select it from the grayscale here, right? You don't have to stick to the color picker all the time, right? It can become a habit, but you don't have to. Then here, the black tone there. Look at that, it's a beautiful black tone here. Right, and then, oh yes, there's a minuscule. This seems like it requires a little bit of, right, is that quite dark? It's not, it's actually dotted around. It's quite small. That dark area, it's not really dark. Actually a lot lighter. I would say it's about this light, even lighter than that. Yeah, just give the illusion, not too much. Then again, then here, pick the white here and just follow the furs. Then here, you can see what I'm doing, following. And then we got everything here. Then let's have a look. That's an improvement, isn't it? Definite improvement from last time, yeah? So now I still feel this cat has a tash of a human, so we need to change that. So how are we going to do that? So here we go down here, just bring them down here, and then it's all practically, there's the whiskers, wherever the whiskers gonna be. It's all about technique. Don't worry about it. If you can't get it first time, you get it the next time. If you can't get it next time, you keep trying until you get it. You know. I never consider this to be mistakes, just like the great Bob Ross said. It's not mistakes, it's just, he called the happy accidents, I call it learning. It's part of the learning process. Okay, let's see if we've managed to pull that off, yeah? Let's see if we've managed to reduce this cat's manliness somehow. Look at this side as well. We haven't done this. So it's something that we need to focus on here. Just put the markers on. The little, giving the illusion. That's all it is. Just give the illusion. That's it. Let's have a look. Big improvement, isn't it? You have to admit. So now what we're going to do? Well, with just 2 brushes, so what have we done here? What we've done here, we used 1 brush at large brush, I think it was 8% or something, and then we reduced it to 4, and then we brought it down to 2. Okay, that's 3 brush sizes, no other tools. And just, I think we managed to take away this manliness, right? Oh, this with the tash at the bottom, and now I can see this is the step. Now this is a very important part of what's called the drawing process, and I would like you to go to the blog and read some of the articles I posted on how to the drawing process. You'll find it there. So the drawing process is fundamental to good drawings, and you should keep that in mind. So right now I can see that there's a problem here. Right? Can you see it? And then I could improve on this area, and then I could make some changes to the ears here, and then we could probably call it a day, right? So let's see what's happening here. It's almost like it's got a tumor growing out of that, you know. I'm sorry about to use harsh words, but it does look like it's got a tumor. So let's have a look. So I've got that. Then just just replicating. Okay, let's see what we have here. Yep, that seems quite fixed. And now the other part that we wanted to say we want to do. Notice that it's very easy to go to a very small brush, and then you start doing bit by bit, little by little of that drawing. But I would much rather you take a broad look at the whole drawing and just do it. Learn. These are the techniques you're going to learn. Otherwise, you're going to confine yourself to detailed drawing. And detailed drawing has a place, but not if you're going to enjoy drawing like this. Let's fix that here. Right there. Then pick these colors. Right, notice we didn't tackle this area, and that's probably why it sticks out. That's the part of the drawing process. Every time you reach a particular level, you automatically have an insight what to do next. That is the drawing process. That's the reason why I can draw like this. And others think that, oh, the tool's got to make them, get them to where they want to go. If you're interested in drawing anime, by all means, they're fine. Digital animation, its illustrations are great with tools, But if you want to do fine art for people who are put off by drawing in the digital way, trust me, digital, just because they use the term digital doesn't mean you have to use tools. Am I using any tools? I'm in fact drawing 99% of the time. Okay, there you are. So, what do we got here? I'm going to show you, if I have time, I'm going to show you a technique of enhancing that sort of diffused area that you can see below the cap, right? Okay, so that's what we have here. Yeah, so what we need to do now, I'm going to show you. Now, do we need any other improvements? Well, I can see here that it could be improved. So I'm going to tackle that bit and then come back and look at it again, yeah? So I can see some things are going on here. And we did, I think, pass the, see that? It's not working quite as well. Right there. There. Right. Okay. Then here. Just how easy you can do this. It's amazing, isn't it? Pick the right colors and that's it. That's all you need to do. You see how simple that fix was? And now you can see there are other areas that you can actually do here and there. And you can continue. Don't think that don't think that this brush has served its purpose. I'm reluctant to go for a smaller brush, just showing you the capabilities. Just pick different tones and it will add value. And right there, here, it will add value and some, it will add value. That's where the value comes in. Tone values, yep. And let's see if that seems to have fixed the right ear a little bit. Now let's look at that left ear. Okay. Okay, we got this bit here, which I want to build up the base. Right, this is the base that he's got around the ear. Right there. Right, just knowing that that's not completely his. And then following the strokes. Just following the strokes. See how much you can learn with one brush. You think that you've achieved the life, but look how much more we can do. All right. It's so much better, isn't it? And now it looks like it's sitting on a piece of, I'm not too happy with this bit here. It's like it's sitting on a I don't know what, but it just seems like it's sitting on a body that's not part of its body, okay? That's how I feel. But there, we've achieved some kind of effect. So, excuse me. Okay, sorry, just need to do something quick. So what do we got here? Yeah, we got something really good, although it still looks like the Puss in Boots, isn't it? With his cloak, all it needs a cloak. So how are we going to do that? Well, I think the only two remaining thing that's going on here, I feel at the look at the whole image, is that we need to somehow create this area here a little bit diffused, yeah, and that is the shade brush, which I'm going to show you. Okay, so look at the overall image and then the whiskers, right? So that's what we're going to do. So let's grab the shade brush, line, shade, then let's take it up, keep it 100%, and let's see what we can achieve with the shade brush, 10%, right? There, can you see it? Isn't it amazing? Right, look. There is that shade. Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? How it shades. It's all about techniques. All about techniques. Then look at that white. All about techniques. Right, and then we got here a bit of a light shade here. Right. All about techniques. And then here, just bringing that down. Right. Then we got more white. Yeah, we can probably add the darker. Just put the white for now. A little bit of the white. And then over there on this side, it's obviously darker, right? And get that. Follow the strokes. Don't be afraid. Right. then here, got this color, follow the strokes. Right. Look, all about techniques. Just the second brush I've used, and I'm following the techniques. Is there any kind of a diffusion here? There is. There, can you see it? There, the dark actually goes here. So we're gonna, it's quite dark actually. So I might take that down so I can get shape it more. Right there, there. Right there. And then what do we have here? We got this lovely field that we're gonna use. Just add a notion, something going on. Yeah. Let's see what it looks like now, shall we? Wow, it's not amazing, isn't it? That we've diffused that, isn't it? It's amazing how much you can do. And then here we know it's the body, so let's just take it here. Right there. And then it's got that lovely color here. And then we're going to take that up. I'm just following the size of that shape. Nothing more, right? Just the size. Like there. Nothing, doesn't have to be anything. Right, look there. Just giving the impression that that's part of its body, I think, isn't it? There. Right, that's all it is. Nothing more. So such little effort and so much effect, isn't it? It's amazing, isn't it? And then what do we have here? That's actually the rear of a cat. So I was making a mistake here. So that's the cat behind this, and that was the shape. So I'm going to take that away. That was really funny. So I'm going to take it over with the line brush. Get the color. Go away now, you little cat. Stop disturbing us while we're working on this cat. The front there. Isn't that good, isn't it? Just shows the diffused effect. And then we can perhaps take the color here and then take it down, go back to the shade, and then just, oops, just, what's it doing? That's too small. Okay. These little marks here. And then what has it got here? It's got, yeah, just take those down, diffuse that area here. Right. There, look at that. This little chin coming up here. So just, and of course we're going to have to add the whiskers, no question about that. Right there. Just a little undertone of a white. Now we've got a really nice image of something there. And then have we got that this right? Look at that there. Can you see that it's got this little area here, which I still use a shade brush. Right, and then we could just look. I'm trying to capture this. Right there. And then it's got some. This is probably photography at work here. So we could maybe diffuse some of the areas. Notice that the got slight diffusion going on there. That's all right. We could, if you want to, again, techniques. We want to develop that, but we don't want to do that. So what we want to do now, say that we're quite happy with the this cap. Maybe what we could do is add a bit of that brown around here to give it like similarity, right, to this, as though he's not blind, or it's got something. I'd give it some sort of equal look, yeah. So now, look at these. So first we're gonna go back to the line brush, right, and then get those little bits of pieces here. This one, just take it down a little bit, just, and then there, just very prominent, isn't it? There, very prominent there. That's all you want. And if there's anything on the right side, let's see. Yep, there is something on the right side. So again, just the notion. It's a little bit darker. So there. Right. Now what we can do is add, now go to 100% and then get the whiskers of this little tiny cat. What is it? Let's have a look at these whiskers. Let's get these white whiskers first. So we could go down here and we can test it. That's the beauty of digital, is that we can test this. Look at that. Is that too much? I think it needs to go slightly low, and then maybe a tad, and then go here. What do you think? Too much? I think it needs to go that way. Maybe a tad. Yes. I think that looks good. Okay. So what we do is, if you want to follow it, just don't have to be exact. Okay, let's see what that looks like. There, isn't it? Perfect. Now, for the right side, it will be obviously darker, right? Let's have a look, because obviously it's darker side. So, oops, no, it's not that dark. I was quite wrong because of the bright light. Ooh, isn't it? What do you think? That probably works with a couple of them, but not all of them. So I'm going to put 2, 3 of them here. Right there, and then there. Right, and then I'm going to put a little bit lighter. So we're going to go back there. So that works. Yeah, I think it works. So I'm going to bring this down. My finger's hitting it, so it's a phone. Take it there, and then take it back there. Let's see what happens. Then take that down a bit more in size. Take it down a bit more in size. Okay, that. Okay, let's see what we have here. I think we're okay with that. I don't know about you, but you can keep practicing it. Look, here the whiskers actually go all the way down, but for some reason I just got carried away and I just... Alright, so doesn't have to be exact. So now we've got something that looks like a almost like semi-realistic, right? So we'll just call that finish, and then we will call that finished. Just write our Paintology on that. So I hope you've learned something from this. Paintology. Yeah. So I hope you've picked something up here and learned something. So you can see what we did here from starting from scratch using the black canvas color. Started off with that, then did a line brush with a 10% brush size, I believe, and then gradually worked our way down. And then what we've done is we've tuned our mind. More importantly, what have you learned? What lessons have you learned from here? You've tuned your mind into the tones. You've now become much more tuned to the tones. And then with that and the brush strokes, you've improved the brush strokes, but you can carry on improving this until you get close to this, right? But oh, let's see how its mouth is coming out. It's actually coming out that way. Can you see it? It's actually coming out that way. So can you see that? That's actually, it's actually mouth is coming out that way. That little. So that's the shape. Sometimes, if you pay attention to the shape, you will get that right. But in the meantime, we've managed to pull it off with a drawing in an hour, and I hope you can do the same. And please comment and subscribe and post to the community section of the app where you can actually see this, where I can actually review the drawings and give you feedback, and even on comments. So until again, we'll meet again. Thank you very much for watching. So just to show you how easy it is to post, you just go to post and then type cap. Okay. And then publish. And then, okay, that's done. So you can go to save this. Sorry about that. Let's save. So I can show you how it's got posted. I've already saved it. So go to community in the second button and you'll see I got posted it there. There you are. It's simple, isn't it? So that's how we do it. And see you soon. See you tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I have. Thank you. Bye.